Sex working is said to be one of the world's oldest professions, with prostitution being recorded in ancient Roman texts. However, with the rise of the internet, gone are the days where street corners and brothels were the only places where the industry was seen in action. Today, escorts and camgirls are just one click away. Smoochy is a website that shows escorts working in the local area who can be booked in a matter of seconds. The website takes on an Uber-like style, meaning that once you book an escort, the site allows you to follow them on a map right to your door.
Allowing you to track the progress of your date and telling you when she's arrived.
The blasé attitude towards sharing location astonished me, and I was curious what security measures the site had in place. I spoke to the site's creator, who wished to remain anonymous, over the phone.
How do you ensure that the escorts using the app are kept safe?
We require the escorts to have to share location in order to go online. So primarily, it just first confirms that they are where they say they are. So if they want to go online in London, it wants to confirm that they are in London.
Yeah.
But then also it gives us the data of if someone, this hasn't happened yet, but if someone did go missing, we would be able to give the client information. There's a certain level of verification the clients have to give, and we would be able to, on a next level, trace where the app had been up to a point.
Now, I wanted to see how easy the website is to use, and it seems pretty user-friendly. You just click on Book an Escort, choose your location and the time you'd like the escort to arrive, and just like that, you're given your options. It almost feels a bit like ordering a takeaway.
The fact that the sex workers could be booked as easy as ordering a pizza felt slightly degrading to me. I wanted to know what entices people to go into the industry, and I found a camgirl willing to share her story.
But it mainly stemmed from me wanting to build the confidence in myself at how I looked naked, I guess.
Right, so is it like an empowerment thing for you?
Yeah, 100%. It was a case of me not feeling confident. And it wasn't like I wanted loads of guys to tell me I looked really pretty or whatever. It was more a case of me looking at myself and saying, oh, actually, I do look okay, and like realising that because I had curves and things like that, that wasn't a bad thing. It was quite normal, actually. So yeah, it was really has stemmed from me wanting to be more confident in myself as a person.
Talking me through the website she uses, I could see that it gives Lauren a lot of control over her work, and you could argue that this is an empowering tool.
It's run by a woman, which is really interesting. Like, there aren't many websites in the UK or sex worker websites that are run by women. For me, like, as a model, I can log in and then I've got like a dashboard where I can see my messages from customers, I can see how much I've earned, I can upload content, I can like put in when I want to do a cam show. It's really easy to utilise.
I spoke to another camgirl and adult entertainer who wished to remain anonymous. She also found webcamming to be an attractive career path.
I'm just kind of trying to find something that we could do that wasn't having to go to a 9 to 5, something that we could kind of like work around, maybe our mental health issues and things like that, and yeah, come in.
But how lucrative can online sex work be?
I earn between $1,000 and $2,000 a day, but I work 16 hours a day.
The English Collective of Prostitutes is a network of sex workers campaigning for decriminalisation. They say that by being able to use certain websites, sex workers are being kept safe.
Online, right, the clients, if you advertise your services, the clients go to you. So you can effectively screen them like behind a computer before you meet them. Yeah.
So it seems in the digital age, sex workers can avoid the dangerous streets by finding clients from the comfort of their own home.
Last week, French MPs approved a new law that makes it illegal to pay for sex.
A new law criminalizes buying and selling sex in the country.
Countries such as France, Canada and Northern Ireland have introduced laws in recent years that criminalise anyone buying sex. Certain organisations claim that these laws are detrimental to the safety of sex workers. Campaigners on this side of the argument state that decriminalising sex work is a better option and would offer people involved in the industry better security, allowing them to report acts of violence against them without fear of being prosecuted. But could decriminalisation cause sex working to spiral out of control? Persuasive arguments exist on both sides of the motion. Leeds is one city that is taking a unique stance on sex working laws. The managed approach is the term used to describe the partnership that has been set up between sex workers, the council and the police in Leeds. I went to Leeds City Council to find out more about the scheme.
What it allows people to do is it allows women to go on, women are allowed to sell sex, they are allowed to do it, it's not unlawful. What they can do is then get involved in sex acts that take place that outrage public decency. It's between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. and it's in a very tightly defined light industrial, non-residential area, so there's no houses in the area, and and all the businesses pretty much are closed at the time.
The core purpose of the approach is to improve the lives and safety of street sex workers in Leeds.
It's an opportunity for the women to go there, because if they go there, we know we can engage them there. So we've got outreach workers in the area, so they will engage the women and build up relationships and then take them on that path to. If we don't give them the opportunity to go somewhere safely without risk of enforcement, then they're not going to do it, and we're never going to get the connection, and we're never going to problem solve the issues.
I wanted to find out how the residents of Holbeck felt about prostitution being decriminalised in their area. Claire Bentley-Smith is a local resident and artist who has put together an exhibition to express her disapproval of the approach.
It is incredibly tough, especially for homeowners that are, the boundary of the managed approach is right flanking residential houses, and their house prices are affected, and their children are witnessing people getting picked up and soliciting and rows at night about drugs and sex going on outside their bedroom windows.
I decided to go and see for myself what the designated decriminalised zone was like. After spending a few hours in the area, I was made to feel very uncomfortable, and I left.
We went up to one woman and she actually seemed quite scared of us. As soon as we walked over to her, she started shaking her head. I asked her, could I speak to her for a few minutes, and she just said no. There was a lot of men in cars that seemed to be watching us, and one man actually got out of his car and wrote down the number plate of the car that we were in. So it's obvious that they don't trust outsiders at all.
I was curious to find out whether decriminalisation has positively impacted the sex work industry in Leeds.
What we've seen with decriminalisation is the demand has absolutely surged. And I believe that there was about 35 street prostitutes in Holbeck at one point, and now we've got 144. We know that men are coming from all over the north of England to use the services here, so it's turned it into a sex tourism spot.
And so the question remains, does decriminalisation simply sweep the issues surrounding sex work under the rug, or does it have the potential to improve the safety of this vulnerable group of people? Sex workers are some of the most vulnerable people in our community. In 2017, it was reported that 152 sex workers had been murdered in the UK since 1990. Even in the police-patrolled Holbeck area of Leeds, sex workers are still not free from these threats. In 2015, 21-year-old Daria Pionka was murdered in the area. The covert sex industry relies on the support of charities to combat these issues and protect the welfare of sex workers. Manchester Action on Street Health, or MASH, is a charity operating to make sex work safer.
We do outreach. We've got an outreach van which we call the Mobile Drop-In, which is a specially adapted mobile home, but that goes out 4 evenings a week in Manchester around the beat areas, and women can get on, we can shut the door. It's a private, confidential space where they can access lots of different services. They can get free condoms, they can speak to our caseworkers about ongoing support, they can speak to our sexual health nurse, they can just get some food and drink, have a bit of a chat, and then go back out again.
When a woman walks through the doors of MASH, the potential germinates for her life to be enhanced.
I think a really positive story that I'd encourage people to have a look at is our trustee, Colette. She used to be a sex worker. She's got a very basically traumatic and horrific history, really. But she has, through the support of MASH and other partners, and mainly her own amazing perseverance and progress that she's made, she's no longer sex working, she's employed, she's on our board of trustees, she has been nominated for all sorts of awards. She's just a fantastic woman.
An organisation in London is campaigning for decriminalisation of sex working as they claim it will keep workers safer. This is the Crossroads Women's Centre in Kentish Town. It's where the English Collective of Prostitutes is based. I came to speak to a member today to find out a little bit more about the organisation. The volunteer wished to remain anonymous.
Certain aspects of prostitution now is criminalised, even though maybe prostitution itself is not. Like, for example, women cannot work together under the same house, so you have to work alone. If not, you're breaking the law. So if you have to work alone, what if a client harms you? You are absolutely alone and you are in such an unsafe position. But if you want, a maid there or, a receptionist there to help take care of you, you will be charged with, hosting a brothel.
The work that these charities do is extremely important in safeguarding a group of people who are often disregarded by society.